Okay, so I'm going to be explaining to you the difference between simple interest and compound interest before I introduce you the formula for compound interest. Okay, and the different terms regarding compound interest. Okay, so in order to illustrate the difference between simple interest and compound interest, I'm going to use a numerical example. Okay, I'm going to use a principal amount of, okay, we make things easier, so I'm going to use 1,000. So I'm going to invest $1,000. Okay, if it's a simple interest, okay, I put it at like 10%. 10%. Okay, so when it is 10%, for simple interest, okay, why do we call it simple interest? Because right, if you calculate right, that means right, every year you will get 10% of interest. So 10% of, so what is the amount of interest every year? It will be 10% of $1,000, which is 100. So that is a simple interest. So when the bank promised me a simple interest of 10%, it means that I start with 1,000. Every year, the bank will just brainlessly give me $100. So every year, the bank will just give me $1,000, $100 every year. So by the end of the third year, I will have 1,300. Okay, so that is called simple interest. It is simple because every year just brainlessly $100. Okay, but if it's a compound interest, it's not going to be the case. So if it's like still the same situation, 1,000 principal amount, the interest is 10% every year. It will still be $100 every year. The interest that you're going to get for every year is still 100. It doesn't change, but the difference is in the calculation. So you put in 1,000. So the bank will give you $100. So at the end of the first year, you feel a little bit richer. You got this. Then the bank is going to recalculate another 10% based on the 1,100. So that will be 110. So in a way, right, your interest is earning you interest. So the extra 100 also starts to earn another 10% interest. So now the bank is going to give you, the next year, it won't give you 100 already. They start to give you 110. So you feel even more rich. So you get 1,100 plus the 110. So you get, at the end of the second year, you get this amount. And the bank is going to calculate one more time, 10%. So the bank calculate one more time of this. You get $121 because your interest is earning you interest. So can you see, like, the more interest you earn, the interest earn interest, interest keep earning interest. So by now, right, you will get 1,210 plus 121. Sorry, 1,210 plus 121. So you end up with 1,331. So you compare the amount under compound interest. You realize that you get slightly more than the simple interest. Because in the idea of compound interest, you earn the interest that you earn will also keep earning interest. So that is called compounded interest. The interest will earn interest. So the more interest that you have, every year you are going to have even more interest. So like it's a like compounded rolling effect. Okay, but the calculation is very troublesome. Okay, so the calculation is actually very troublesome. That's why they introduced the formula for compound interest. The compound interest formula is like this. So the compound interest formula is P plus R over 100 power n. So this formula, right? Okay, what does it calculate? So I show you what I will put in first. So I'll put in the principal amount, and the rate is 10, R is 10, and we do it for 3 years. Okay, you go and punch calculator. If you go and punch calculator, you find that it will give you 1331. It will match exactly what we calculated just now. So can you see this formula helps me to calculate the ending amount without doing it year by year. So just now I got to calculate at the end of the first year. So I got to recalculate every year. So at the end of the first year, I got to calculate this. At the end of the second year, I got to calculate this. So in fact, if this kind of thing is like done over 10 years, you actually got to do it 10 times. So the formula actually helps you to calculate the total. But bear in mind, this total include the principal amount. So this 1331 include the principal amount. So we can see that if I take out the principal amount, right, this part is the compound interest. So what is this formula used for? This formula will calculate the total amount. The total T is the total of the principal and the compound interest. Okay, but it will cut short individual every year of calculation. Okay, so if you are going to receive interest every year, okay, in the compound interest term, it's called compounded yearly. Okay, so I'm going to, with the illustration, okay, before I go on to show you the formula in detail. So just a quick summary first. Simple interest is like you brainlessly every year you got same amount of interest, and the interest doesn't earn extra money. In the compound interest case, every year you got different amount of interest because the interest is going to earn extra money for you. Okay, so but it's a very troublesome thing if you're going to be compounded every year. That means the interest keep on earning interest. So you actually got to recalculate every year. So that's why they develop a formula to help you calculate the total amount. The total amount that is the total amount at the end of a certain amount of years. Okay, so with the understanding, okay, so just understand the difference first. Okay, before we go into the actual formula and the type of question that is involved.